What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. If you're new here, my name's Ryan.
And I'm Kyle, and today we're finally filming at the new facility.
So we're gonna take a look at the greenhouses today, and then eventually we're gonna work into the ponds, but we're gonna start with the greenhouses today.
Start with the smaller things.
Yeah, so first of all, what we got going on here is Kyle built 2 greenhouses.
Yes.
And these are actually bigger than the one at the old property, right?
These are bigger, stronger, and what I mean by stronger is more hurricane resistant.
Okay.
So the old one is only rated for a Category 2 hurricane closed and Category 4 open, but the problem is I didn't design it to where it could withstand being open during a storm. You know, it's not meant to handle all the water, handle all the wind. Whereas this is rated for a Category 4 hurricane closed, so I can close everything up, and it's just going to be a normal day for the tortoises. Now, if a Category 5 hurricane is coming directly here, then open it all up, and it will still be able to withstand everything inside, even with all the rain and all the wind. Now, again, we're using the sheet piles. These are vinyl sheet pile, and I guess I'm so used to talking about it with the big ponds next door, but these are rated for 250 mile-per-hour winds. To give you an example, Category 5 hurricane starts at 157 miles per hour and goes up to like 220, and this is rated for 250 miles per hour. So this is 30 miles per hour over like the strongest hurricane ever recorded. So these are driven 2 foot in the ground, 2 foot above the ground, and then we're gonna do a nice wood cap on top to clean it up. Now this area too is gonna be built up, so you'll actually be a lot higher here, probably about there. So it'll be lower on the other side, so the tortoises can't climb out, but it'll be much higher for visual aspects of it on this side.
And like he just said, tortoises. So he built this entire greenhouse here for tortoises. There's what, 7 enclosures in here? So not even a whole lot of enclosures, but you have some very special animals going in here.
Exactly. So again, this whole new facility is all about the most rare, the coolest animals, and the most favorite of mine. So I'm not going for quantity here. I'm going for the sheer size of enclosures and also quality of enclosures. And this greenhouse is 252 foot. So the old one is 204. So it's a lot bigger than even the one I had before, and I have 2 of them here. So one is for tortoises and one's for crocodiles. Now the tortoise one has a white roof, and what that does is it kind of deters that greenhouse effect. It deters where it gets super hot inside, just because tortoises don't like crazy heat, especially if they flip over. They could easily bake in the sun. So what it'll do is it's essentially a giant shade structure, and I'll have the greenhouse open up about a foot or 2, and what that'll do is it'll give these small rain bands. And the beauty of that is with the rain bands, they'll have a small area that they can bask if they want to, but the vast majority is shaded. So even if they do flip over in the sun, you know, maybe half hour, an hour, that band will move because the sun's always moving and they're out of the sun. So again, it's just safety for the animals. And I mean, just again, maintaining the environment, just kind of controlling it that much more, because Florida's beautiful. Florida's great 9 times out of 10, but you'll still get the ultra cold nights like we're about to have, and the hurricanes. So you just got to prepare for the worst.
Yeah, and right now it's probably, I mean, in the direct sun, we're looking like, I was sweating out there, about 82 right now. We're sitting inside this greenhouse, and it's a greenhouse, but he built the roof for it. It's probably 78 in here. It's really, it's comfortable. Like it's not an issue at all.
And again, tortoises, you know, they still like warmth. Don't get me wrong, it's not like they like freezing cold temperatures, but they just don't like that extreme heat, especially in the sun. And a lot of the species I have in here are going to be the Burmese blacks, the redfoot tortoises that don't like extreme temperatures anyway. It's not like the sulcata tortoises where they're desert tortoises. But as you can see, the sides too, the sides open up and close as well. So you always have this cross draft if you want to. You can still have the roof closed, but you're still always going to have this airflow moving through here. But again, you can shut everything up and essentially keep it warmer on the cold nights and protect them from the crazy storms. And the beauty of these two is they have insect screening up top. Actually, no, we didn't put insect screening. It's actually a double layer. So I'll close both of those, and it'll still keep the heat that much lower. So if on the extremely cold nights, I'll be able to shut the roof and shut the ceiling, essentially, as they call it, which will keep the heat lower, because obviously heat rises. So if you close this, it'll just keep it lower. But the tortoises will have houses in here, concrete houses, and they'll have the pig blankets in them to keep them warm. So again, it's just going to be very ideal for these guys in here. So each enclosure, I mean, this is only going to be for 5 redfoot tortoises. This is 31 foot by 32 foot. So it's a big, big enclosure for these guys. And we're just putting the sheet pile in, driving it down, and then we're going to sod this. We're going to build a little pond over here that's going to have I guess a drainage area around it. So it's just going to be an overflow system. So it's going to be a drain field, I guess, a little bit. Instead of having a crazy pipe along the whole thing and running pipes out to drainage areas, just let it overflow and soak in the ground, because essentially South Florida is one giant beach. So it's the ground really breathes so well with the water. So pond, house, and then we're going to put a couple trees in here, make it a lot more naturalistic looking, and then sod it, and then it'll be time to move the tortoises in.
Awesome. And how big are these enclosures?
I already told you. These are 31.5 by 32.5.
Okay.
And the greenhouse is 42 foot. So then you have a little bit of room on that side, just to put them in the houses. And then you have a walkway here for them. Now I was going to do 8 enclosures that were 28.5 foot long, but again, I'm just going off with that mentality of giving them a ton of room. I feel like more space is better for the adults, because I can always mow the grass if it's growing too quickly, but I can't keep up with the grass if they're eating it too quickly.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be bigger than smaller. And also with making it smaller, Crush, the Aldabra Tortoise, he's going to be in here as well. And I didn't want him to be in something that small, because he's slowly getting really great mobility back. So I'm going to have him be in a 39 foot by 32 foot enclosure.
And then again, guys, so this is all still in construction.
Yep.
So you're thinking about another month and this greenhouse will be done.
Yep.
So we're going to keep you updated on the whole process. I mean, right now you're seeing a lot more than what's been shown so far.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll show you as it gets closer to being done. And we'll also do a video once it's completely done, and then moving the animals in and everything like that too. So this is the tortoise greenhouse. Let's go check out the crocodile greenhouse.
Let's do it. You still filming?
Yeah. So
as I said before, that one is a tortoise, and that has a white roof. If you see here, you can't really tell too well, but this one has a clear roof. But if you're in here, you can sure as hell feel it, that it's a lot hotter in here. You can really feel that greenhouse effect. I'm sure you do, Ryan.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's just, you can definitely notice what it's built for, and what it's built for is to heat up. Because on the cold days, with the tortoises, I can lock them up. With the crocodiles, I can only do so much with running water. So with this, I can close it up, and it'll actually stay about 30 degrees warmer during the day in here if you close it all up and let the greenhouse effect do its thing.
And then what's the overall design for this area, this blank canvas that you have right now?
So again, going off of my favorites, the most quality over quantity. These are going to be for the small crocodilians as far as breeding programs, like the Chinese alligators. I have some morph crocodiles I'm going to be working with, and we'll share them at a later date. But yeah, so this is more of just, I'm going to make natural ponds in here with sheep pile. But this is going to be for breeding programs. I was going to have a lot of single animals in here, but I'm going to be keeping the current facility and utilize that for overflow and excess animals that are not a part of a breeding program. But this greenhouse is going to be for breeding programs for smaller species of crocodiles, for the majority of the greenhouse. Now over here is going to be grow outs. So I was looking at tubs. I don't know if you guys saw the blue tubs before. I'm sure we'll have them in the videos coming up. They're 4,000 gallons. They're 14 foot by 8 foot, but they're $4,500. So if you get, 1 or 2, not a crazy big deal, but if you get obviously 10 of them, it adds up super quick. So these I found on good old Craigslist. These are old tilapia tanks. They are, I think these are like 7,000 gallons. They're 20 foot long by 6 foot wide by 6 or 7 foot deep. They're super, super deep, which again, like we talked about with those baby Niles, I think this is where they're going to go. I think that'll be beneficial for them to just swim around and do their thing. You know, it's just more enrichment.
Yeah. And the crazy part, so he just said that those blue tubs are $4,500 a pop.
Yep.
These tubs, like it's stupid how little we paid. Go ahead, tell them how much you pay for these.
$250.
$250 compared to $4,500 for one tub. So.
And these are bigger, a lot bigger, and a lot deeper, and they fit actually really well in the greenhouse here. So again, this is just initial stages of these, but they'll have a top on them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a land area here. So the tanks will only be filled up maybe halfway or a little bit over. So they're not going to be ultra deep. It's not going to be 6 foot deep, but it's still going to be 4 foot, 3.5 feet deep. So it's still deep for 2, 3, 4 foot animals. So there'll be a land section here and then a shallow section there. I did the shallow section on those baby Niles, and I think it's working great. You know, it's a good resting spot, especially if you have these deep, deep enclosures for them. And that's what I like about the current facility is that I can really test everything there, make sure it works, and then implement it here at the new facility. But yeah, so these are going to have a top on them, and then there's going to be a door, double doors here that we can access the crocodiles.
Yeah, I mean, once you're done with all this, it's actually going to look really nice. There's going to be a nice facade to the front. It's going to be like I said, again, this is all construction, so it looks a little rough right now.
Of course.
Once all the finishing touches get on here, this facility is going to be amazing to just be able to walk around and look at these animals and also showcase on YouTube like we're doing.
Yeah, so this is going to have a wood cap along the whole thing and then a divider down every single one. And then like Ryan said, a wood facade, so you're not going to really see the fiberglass part of the tanks at all. Because again, they're not the prettiest, so I just want to hide it and, you know, focus on cleaning it up and obviously the beauty of the crocodiles. But also over here will be those square tubs. They're 750 gallon, 7 foot by 8 foot, and they'll house the yearling animals. So everything from 1 foot to about 2.5 feet, 3 foot will be in those big tubs there. But again, I'm going with more space is better with the larger animals. Now guys, from my experience, it is better to have smaller enclosures for little babies just because you can ensure they eat better. You can just monitor them easier. But once they get comfortable, once they get bigger, once they get, you know, more food motivated, I'm all about giving them more space. And now with this, I've moved these off. Now if you notice, like the tortoise enclosures are right up against the poles here because I don't really need to access in the back. But I want to have all the plumbing back here that I can easily access, so I can get back here, adjust the valves for more flow, less flow, make sure the drains are not clogged, and so this alleyway just gives me that opportunity. But I mean, we still have a long ways to go, but this is pretty much the majority of what we've done thus far. But like Ryan said, we are hoping to have the tortoises one done in the next month, and then these probably in the next 3 to 6 months realistically, just because there is a lot more to do, especially the natural enclosures, but certainly a lot happening in 2020 here.
All right guys, we hope you enjoyed today's video. We got to see a lot of the greenhouses coming in. There's going to be more videos of the new property as we kind of keep going along with everything, and
obviously moving the tortoises, so hopefully next month we'll be moving them.
Awesome. Well, if you liked today's video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.